Kris sat at the bar, nursing a beer after a long shift as a renegade cop. He was a man of few words, preferring action over talk. Kris had always been a lone wolf, preferring to work outside the system to bring justice to the streets of Los Angeles. He had a mysterious past, having been trained in an ancient Viking art of combat that involves martial arts and the precise handling of swords. His skills with the sword were unmatched, and he had a reputation as a fierce and deadly opponent. As he sipped his drink, he noticed a beautiful waitress, Luna, working the floor. She moved gracefully, and there was something about her that caught his eye. Luna was a simple waitress working in a nightclub to make ends meet. She was beautiful with a sweet smile and a warm personality. But Luna was not who she seemed. 2 years ago, she had been sent through a Stargate back from the future to hide in the year 1990 from the artificial intelligence that was trying to kill her. Her DNA contained the cure for a plague that would threaten to wipe out humanity in the future. Suddenly, Kris heard a loud noise from the back of the club. He turned to see a robot that was heading towards Luna. He knew he had to help, and he jumped towards Luna. He drew his gun but quickly realized that it was useless against the robot's metal body. Luna was already running towards the door, and Kris followed closely behind her. They burst out into the night air, and Kris could hear the sound of the robot's metal footsteps following close behind them. They sprinted towards his car. Luna climbed into the passenger seat, and Kris gunned the engine, peeling into the night. As they drove towards Luna's apartment, Luna explained to Kris who she really was and why the robot was after her. She explained that she was a scientist from the future, and she had been sent back in time to save herself and the cure for the future plague. Luna knew that the robot would not stop until it had completed its mission to kill her and destroy the cure. Kris was skeptical at first, but he had seen the robot with his own eyes, and he knew that something strange was going on. When they reached Luna's apartment, Kris was surprised at how bare bones it was. There was hardly any furniture, and Luna's belongings were packed into a few small boxes. Luna explained that she hadn't been in 1990 for very long, and she had been trying to keep a low profile. Kris was determined to protect Luna, and he suggested they go to the police station to get guns. But Luna knew that the robot was made of a specific metal that was indestructible by any weapon in 1990. She realized that the only way to destroy the robot was to forge a special sword from a specific granite found only in a cave in the jungle of Vietnam. This granite had unique properties that could be used to forge a sword capable of cutting through the robot's metal body. While they were discussing the next steps, Kris peeked out the window and saw the robot standing on the other side of the road with a big weapon in his hands. Just as he wanted to tell Luna, there was a big explosion. The robot had started attacking and had blown up Kris' car in the parking lot. Luna grabbed Kris by the hand, and the two were able to escape through fire escape just as the robot broke in the front door of the apartment. Without hesitating, they got into the next bus heading to the airport. After several hours of flying, Kris and Luna finally arrived in Vietnam. They had never been there before, so they had no idea what to expect. Luna had some coordinates that her future self had given her as an emergency safety measure, so Kris rented a jeep and drove towards the jungle. The journey was long and bumpy, and they had to drive through several villages to get to their destination. They encountered several challenges on the way, such as language barriers, roadblocks, and even a flat tire. But they persevered, and eventually arrived at the entrance to the cave. The cave was